evening, everyone, and welcome to Not Another Rangers podcast with myself, Scott, and Ricky, who is joining me this evening as Gary and Cameron are otherwise engaged. So, how are you, Ricky?
Good, mate. You've done it first time. You're
Done it
getting
first time,
better.
Ricky.
We are live. I've got us in the background, mate, and we are live and looking splendid. Well done.
I know.
Champion. What a man.
I've done it for that long. It's always Gary that does it, so I
Aye.
forget what I'm doing at times, so that's good. So, how are you? You're back home now, aye?
Yeah, no, mate. Back home, getting ready for Christmas. Obviously, we'll open some presents in Cyprus because we're coming to Scotland on Saturday. We're flying into Scotland on Saturday into Edinburgh, mate. So I'll be catching up with you and hopefully Gary for a few
This
beers
Saturday coming?
before. Yeah, we're coming back to Scotland this Saturday, yeah, and then we've got like in different places with a family for a week, mate. And then I'll be down for the Motherwell game to catch up with you and Gary. Hopefully, get a few beers before the match, mate, and then
That's good. That's good.
watch the entertaining Rangers against Motherwell.
That'll be a decent game, but hopefully before then they've got other games before that we can get the 3 points. But
Yes,
Ricky, I don't know if you've seen the game last night. I know it was
of
late
course,
on Monday
of
night, but
course.
starting with the lineup for last night, see if you look through the team apart from Butland, maybe Stalling because he's a bit experienced, but there's a lot of young lads, weren't there? A lot of young,
Yeah.
experienced lads who I don't know last time we played a squad that young. Well, a starting 11 that young starting a game in the Premier League. I know we've done it before, like in end of season games and stuff. We've done that a few years ago at Hearts. But that's a young lineup to start a game. I feel for Rangers. I know that some have cost a bit of money, but it's still a lot of young guys who don't have a lot of experience playing with the club.
Ro mentioned that, Kerr. He said that in his post match interview that he actually spoke to the players and he highlighted that it was a young team that he was starting, but he told the guys that, look, guys, it's time for you to grow up. He told them when he first came in, every player was going to get an opportunity. And last night was an opportunity for a few of them. And it was good to see. It was good to see young Curtis in the team. It was good to see young Enciala, who I think has had a very, very raw deal under Martin. And I think he's had a raw deal this season. So it was good to see some of the youngsters in the team. And I'll be honest with you, Kerr, this might sound harsh, but our leadership group, I don't think there's a leader between all of them. If you added them all together, I don't think there's a leader between all of them. So playing young players to me is a good thing. And I think if we're looking way into the future, I think that's what this team needs, is to build a young, fresh squad with experienced players in there, but new experienced players. We spoke about it on the last pod. Your Souters, your Taverniers. I mean, Tavernier, when he came on, I'm sure we'll get to that yesterday, mate. He is so badly out of form. But a young team, they did well. They got the victory, and that's all that counts, Kerr. If they can keep that going and keep the victories going, it'll be good to get us through this period to January, mate.
No, I agree with you. I mean, a lot of the young boys last night, especially two centre backs, one's on loan and one's just come into the club. I know people say he's not young because he's 23, but experience-wise, playing for Rangers and playing at this level, he is. And to be honest with you, at this time when they were signed, both of them didn't expect to be a starting two centre backs who's not got a lot of games together. The two full backs, Mahoma's done, I think he's done really well since he's come into the club. Not a lot of football last year. Aaron's is okay, to be fair. I think he's offering just as much as Tav at the moment. I don't think Tav's offering any more than what Max Aarons is offering, and that's not a lot. But I think both of them are not playing great. Midori Park, obviously, Connor Barron again was outstanding. I have to say, but dear Mandy, Ricky, before we talk about the game, I know I get frustrated with Dio, but I didn't think last night he was imposing himself enough either in the game. I think a couple of tackles, I don't know if you noticed it, maybe it's just me, but I felt he pulled out tackles. I pulled out engaging to get the ball. He does a couple of pirouettes, but he's not getting the pace to get away from people. And I didn't think he's meant a lot of room to receive the ball either. I thought he was kind of down the way he meant to be at times. I mean, I thought Connor Barron was doing so much work defensively and trying to attack, and that's not Connor's game, but he's doing it really well.
Yeah, no, I was excited for Dale to be going to I was gutted when he wasn't in the Ivory Coast squad, mate, because I was excited for him to go to Africa and I was hoping they were going to keep him for 2 months. The same as I hope the big man Jigga gets lost over there. I hope his team Faso get to the final and then he celebrates for 3 months over there and we don't see him again in a Rangers jersey, to be honest with you, mate. But no, Diamande, since he's came in, for the fee we paid for him, 4.5 million. And all the scouts on Twitter were telling you the player that we were going to be getting was this unbelievable coup for Rangers, and he was going to be dominating midfields, and he was a young player that they couldn't believe he was signing for Rangers. But even I think that he's flattered to deceive. In some games, he has been all right, Kerr, in Europe against Celtic. But I think this season, again, I think he's went backwards a lot. I don't think he imposes himself in games the way that he should. And I think that in most games, I think if you're looking at a team going forward, he would maybe be okay to keep as a squad player. And I think you will be able to get your money back on him, maybe even a little bit more than what you paid for him, which is mad to say because he is an international and stuff like that. But he's not a player that I look at and I think to myself, oh, I'd be devastated if he leaves. Raskin's the complete opposite of that. We all love Raskin, even though he's been a bit up and down this season. But with Diamande, I just don't see it. He's not had that purple patch of consistent games where you've been able to say, wow, that's the player that we thought we were getting, like a Kamara. When Kamara had his purple patches and he cost so much little money for Dundee, Diamande was like the sort of similar in a way to Kamara, but you just don't see it. He's not consistent enough, Kerr, and that's got to change. Hopefully, I think Rowe is a very good manager that can get the best out of some players, and maybe when better players comes in, you will start to see him improving a little bit. But so far, still this season for me, has been a big disappointment.
Yeah, he has, and I know Great Wall mentioned there that he's probably better than a 3. He probably is better than a 3 in the middle of the park because he does need help. On the defensive side of his game, he's good going forward at times. He doesn't offer enough for me yet going forward. I think he has to create more, and especially has to get more goals added to his game because that's what we're kind of bottom for in the first place. But somebody mentioned there, Giga. I know Giga gets a lot of criticism. He's got it for us plenty of times. So has Fernandez. But to be fair to Giga, he has improved game by game. I know he still get mistakes in him, and so is Fernandez. Like I said at the start, they were never our two centre backs we wanted to play together because we didn't really know about them. Plus, they never really played as a pairing, and they're still young in terms of playing for Rangers. But even when he makes mistakes, Ricky, he's always his last ditch defending is really good. He makes a mistake, but his recovery is great. And I thought him and Fernandez, yeah, like I said, they've got mistakes, not perfect, but somebody mentioned that. I mean, that's 5 clean sheets in 8 games, so they're doing actually what they've been asked to do.
Yeah, no. I mean, you kind of we wanted when you look at our defensive record at the start of the season. I'm much more happy with a defensive unit that doesn't concede goals and like Aaron's. Like I know you're speaking about Jigger, but if you take the unit as a whole, Aaron's doesn't give you what Tav did before going forward, right? But I think defensively he's definitely a lot stronger than Tavernier and Magoma on the other side. And then Jig is still for me he has improved, Kerr, but I would still worry about him. He's obviously going to the African nations now. If we were going to their ground to play not this Celtic but a normal Celtic on the 3rd of January. You saw him, and I still can't get out my head how bad he was against Celtic in the cup semi-final, mate. He set the tone straight away because he was so nervous that first 5 minutes. The ball went straight to him. He just kicked it out the park, and then there was another one, and he was so nervous. And I think I get that he's improved with minutes played, and that's good to see because players should improve the more minutes that they get in the team. And he might, but even last week away in Europe, they got absolutely, the defence was all over the place when they stepped up the level, and that's the concern. Are they good enough in Scotland to get the job done? I mean, I think we're going to strengthen in January anyway. What's your opinion, Kerr, when, because Suter will be back soon, and Cornelius might be out a bit longer, so Suter is back soon. What would you forget about? I know Jigger's away and NCL was going to replace him, but if Jigger was still here now, what would you do with Suter if Suter was fit just now?
If Suter's fit, I think you've got to play him. But I liked what Real done last night playing Sterling in the back end of 3. I think he helped them defensively because Sterling can play right side, he can play centre, he can push up falling apart, we know what he does, and yeah, he probably has his limitations as well, Sterling, but defensively he's really good and he's solid and he doesn't really think about twice about defending, he'll just kick something or tackle, and I think he done really well last night considering it was his first match for a while. He played a good 60 minutes, I thought, and I think he helps him. He was speaking through games because obviously he's a more experienced out of three. You look at last night in the first half, Hibs had a lot of the ball, probably the first 25 minutes. And I think because we weren't marking, like Hibs, when we had the ball, Hibs were going one for man with our strikers. But we weren't doing it to them. It was more like just pick up whoever's next to you. But Barham is still sitting deeper. So they had a lot more ball in the middle of the park because it was like 1-2 against, I think they had McGrath was in there and Mulligan was in there and I can't remember who else. So they picked up a lot of ball, but it did change as the game went on because I thought Aaron started coming a bit deeper to get involved. So I just thought the lineup was, it took time for him to grow into the game last night. Do you know that way?
I'm not massive. Sorry.
I thought once they did, we were nervous, Ricky, to start, and I think we were scared to take the risk passing between lines or going forward. But I think once we scored the goal, they thought, we've got someone here we can hang on to, we've got someone here, we've scored. And I think we saw a good bit of football after that. No constantly, but on and off, he's seen some good movement going forward. I thought Aaron was getting forward more. Chamiti, he done okay. His hold up with the ball was decent. I thought still struggles to shoot, but I thought he was getting involved more than he was previous games. I just felt last night they showed a lot more character, but I thought they looked more confident in themselves. Not all match, but at times, and that was a decent Hibs side. I'm not saying they're great; it's a decent Hibs side. Do you know what I mean? They were always going to win the game, and they were physical. But I thought we stood up to it quite well.
Yeah, no, I thought the first 30 minutes, I'll be honest, Kerr, I thought Hibs bullied us a little bit, and I thought Roll had to make some tweaks until we got the goal. I thought the goal really settled us down, and we came into the match after the goal. But let's be honest, I thought the first, without really troubling the goal, like this Hibs team can be decent on the eye and play. They can physically, they're quite aggressive in the tackle and stuff like that. But the final piece of the jigsaw, they're not like that. It's we've played Hibs teams in the past that had McGinn and that in us, and they've ripped us to shreds at Ibrox. And they probably would have done the same to this team that we've got just now. But this Hibs team is all right, but I don't think it's as good as Hibs team that they've had in the past. Like I look at that striker up front, they've got Bowie, and I think he's a little bit overrated. He does put himself about and stuff like that, but that's 3 matches against Rangers, and I can't remember him having a shot on goal. So I thought the first 30 minutes, Hibs, you saw with the reaction, and most people was like, "Oh no, what's going on here?" And at that point, it was looking like it was going to be a long night. But all that's forgotten about, Kerr, because we got the goal, great ball from Sterling, great header from Fernandez, who's a big threat in the opposition box, something we've not had for a long, long time, which is great to see. And then after we got the goal, it settled us right down, mate, and we started to play the ball about, we started to create a few chances. The big Shershitty had, and his hold-up play was all right, mate, but the Pigeons are shit scared of him because his shooting is so erratic. The Pigeons are like, "Oh no, big man's on the ball. Where's the ball going?" So he needs to definitely work on his shooting, mate. It's hilarious. I think he had one where he was clean through and it went out for a throw-in. That's a new one, mate. Portuguese. We're the only team that scouts Portuguese players and Brazilian players that have got banana feet and kick the ball any which way but loose, mate. But anyway, no, good. It was good to get that goal. Good to hold out until half time, and then it was a pretty even match overall. I would say Hibs had chances, we had chances, but again, all that counts for Rangers just now, Kerr. All that matters is the good old saying, 3 points and up the road, mate. That's what we need to do till we get to January. Stay within touching distance of Hearts, touching distance. Hopefully get ahead of Celtic if this Mr. Bean can keep putting on his Mr. Magnificent performance as Celtic manager. That'll be great for us. So if we can keep grinding out wins until, especially huge weekend coming up, mate, that we'll speak about on Friday. But that's all we need to do now is just keep on winning.
I don't really want to speak about anybody else, Ricky, because I'm not taking it a game as a time at this
No,
moment.
100%. It's all we can do. It's all we can do.
We
But
can we
none of
can
us.
we can laugh at other teams, but until we start improving consistently, I don't want to laugh too loud. But I think yesterday Mikey Moore proved again he's good going forward. Attacking wise, he breaks the lines. He's great balance running with the ball left, right, and just lift his head a wee bit more. I think sometimes maybe need to makes that pass, but he does a wee bit too much. But I can understand why, because a lot of time the movement's not there. But I think what we missed last night, and it's when I said this weeks ago, but it was Barami. I think if he was on the other side and you had him and Moore running, I think that'd have caused a lot more problems. And I thought Finlay Curtis done relatively well. It took a while to settle into the game, but I think he done well defensively. He done really well. He's tracking back. Physicality, maybe needs a wee bit more weight on, because I thought he was getting out muscled at times, but he stuck in it and his head never went down. And I heard him speaking today saying that the manager's speaks to him, he's got a good relationship, he trusts him, and he says, keep training well, keep doing what you're doing, you'll get minutes. And I think that's like all the players. I think Rowe has a good relationship with all the players, and you can see how happy Finlay was. And I think he get. I see a lot of things on. I'm not taking social media as a thing, but social media is just what it's like. But even some of the paper reports saying he was kind of lost. I thought he'd done relatively okay, Finlay, and I think it's poor we're criticising the young guy, because the way it's been with Curtis, Rick, you know yourself, we all want to come in and play, but some people think he's going to come in and play and be like a fantastic player. He's a young guy still learning. So he's going to come in and has to learn the system, has to learn with the players, has to learn his own game, but we know what he can do and what he can't do. But I think we've overestimated him how good he is at this moment in time. It's not to say he's not going to be, and then when he does play, people are saying, no, he's not good enough. You can't have it both ways, and I just feel, don't criticise him, support him, because I feel as a player there, we just need, once the more game time he gets, the better he'll get. And he done okay last night for me.
100%, mate. 100%. For me, keep him in the team. I hope Miovski's back for Sunday. It looks like he's going to be. And if he is, then for sure, keep Curtis in the team. Also, what I liked, he was tracking back really, really well. He put in a couple of great balls, but there was nobody there. Like, he's the only player we've got in that team, all our wide men, that actually puts crosses into the box that's decent, that a striker can get on the end of, right? We don't have enough players in the box attacking the balls that he's putting into the box, but that'll come. But for me, I would keep Curtis in the team, right? And I also liked Gassama. I've been very harsh on Gassama, but I think it's been fair. But I really liked him when he came on yesterday. And maybe now, for like just a bit of time, just keep Gassama on the bench, and he's a good weapon to have, especially Tynecastle. If you can go 1-0 up and you need a player to come on with 20 minutes to go. I actually thought Asgard as well, who I absolutely, you know what I think of the guy, but I actually thought when he came on yesterday as well, he put himself about. So if you can get Curtis to run at Hearts the same way he did, and Moore as well, because the thing is with these guys, Kerr, that they don't have 90 minutes in the tank. They're just back. If you try and beast, so we need all of these players over the Christmas period. It's great that we've got a free week now up until the Hearts game on Sunday. So almost 6 days for this team as a like role won't know what to do. But the only thing I will say about these players, Kerr, is any time in the past any managers had them on the training ground, they've looked worse. So hopefully Roll can work some magic with them, and we see that at Tynecastle. But I would keep him in the team. And young Moore, I really like Moore. What I liked about Moore is that, like we were speaking about earlier on, about these young players for a young team. He's got an attitude about him. I saw him shouting at players, and I really loved that. He was like, guys, for fuck's sake, where is everyone? You know, like the players were all out of position and nobody was moving fast enough for him a few times when he hit the ball. And he's like, hey, guys, any chance you're going to give me a hand here? And that's what I said about, like, if you keep too many players that are old players that we have around the Ibrox for way too long, you don't let these young guys flourish, and they'll stay in their shell forever if you don't give them the chance to like blossom and the chance to grow in a proper Rangers team. Obviously, Moore's only going to be here for one season, mate, but I think these two will give you as much as any other player will that's on the bench. I agree that Bajrami's been. I know we only saw him for a glimpse when he came back in, but he's definitely a miss. Miovski was a huge miss because he just hit a bit of great form, and it'll be great to have him back for Tynecastle. I honestly think Sunday's game is absolutely fascinating, mate. But that's what I would be doing. I would keep. I like Moore in the middle as well. You cannot put. I think he will stay with 5-3-2 because I thought Sterling was really good, and that position is made for him in the defence. Anywhere you can play him right centre back, or you can play him right back. But I think that's the formation he will play at Tynecastle, and it'll be interesting to see. But I think for our wide players, that's the best two options we have just now. Is Curtis starting on one of the wings, Moore in the middle, and Miovski up front, and then and then keep the same sort of midfield. But Raskin will come into the midfield.
Just right back to some of the tackles in the first half, Ricky. The Hibs players are putting in. McGrath had
Mental.
But the ref says, I don't know if it was him or Mulligan, I think it was McGrath, but the ref went by and said he let the play go, and you're thinking he's going to go back and book him, and he never. And then in the second half, he done one, and I think it was Mikey Moore, and then next minute David Gray subs him because he knows he actually should be sent off. And Mulligan had a couple of tackles, never get booked. Bowie was throwing himself a bit as well, and it's like, I know that football's a physical game, and I'm not denying that.
Mate,
and I want the Rangers players to do the same. Some of these tackles are a bit over the top for me, and it's like the referee Don Robinson wasn't controlling it. He cautioned. I think it was my home. He cautioned. Well, obviously he shied the ball, didn't do it properly, but he walked a couple of inches, and they said no, get back. Yet one of the Hibs players had the ball and walked up to halfway line and then shied it and never said anything. It's like he was punishing the Rangers players for stuff and no punishing them for them. And that's not me being biased. I just think he's a bad ref, but some of the tackles he was letting go was very poor, and I didn't think he could referee the game at all.
No, and it'll be the same on Sunday. Walsh is the referee. He was exactly the same in the semi-final, and that's what frustrates you, Kerr, is you've got to lay down a marker early with these challenges, because it's all right saying, okay, it's a big match and it's a physical game. You've got to let a booking's a booking. Mate, a booking is a booking. Some of these tackles are absolutely so late and high and deliberate. And then as soon as a Rangers player does it, Don Robertson, bang, yellow card, bang, yellow card, bang, yellow card. Okay, later on in the match, he started pulling out the yellow card for the Hibs players. But by that time, they should have already been on a yellow card. And by that time, they've got away with so many challenges. And I can guarantee you, it will be the exact same on Sunday at 1:30 with Nick Walsh. He did it in the semi-final. He will let Devlin away with 6-7 challenges, and he'll book him in the second half, the 70th minute, for something absolutely ridiculous. Hearts will be kicking us all over the park. But don't get us wrong, we should be going into the challenges as well, because it's going to be that sort of match. But these referees, and you're not asking for bias or anything like that. You're just asking them to do their job, Kerr. Like there was 2 in the first half you're on about. It was a blatant yellow card. The ref waves play on, and it's like the most brutal tackle. And you're like, okay, go back and book the guy. And he doesn't even talk to them. He just acts like nothing's happened. And you're like, what is going on? And he's looking around wondering why he's getting booed at half time. And everyone can see that it's absolutely blatant. It's so shockingly bad. It's unbelievable, mate. And a player's going to get badly injured because of it, to be honest, because teams know that they can get away with that first. Like, you're playing teams like St Mirren, Motherwell and stuff like that. If they know they can get away with the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes kicking Rangers off the park, that's exactly what they're going to do. And that's not what football should be about, mate.
I've seen it do it quite a lot, Ricky. It was the same at Easter Road, and they get away with murder, and then the morning ground they don't get penalties when none of them, in fact, were penalties. One was off. He was offside. The boy, another one hit the player, and then before it hit his hand, so it wasn't a penalty either. But I will say about the bit that Robinson annoyed me was the bit at Fernandez done a wee pirouette, and then he went back destroyed by a man. Everybody's having heart attacks. Then he beats, and then he goes to step aside for Mulligan, and Mulligan brings him down. And the referee just tells him to walk. Was it McGrath? I can't remember. I thought it was Mulligan. But anyway, the referee just tells him to go in, and he didn't even go for the ball. He just scythed him down. And
He booted him.
it's a free kick, and it's also a yellow card. And he gave you a free kick and then just let him walk away. It's like,
And David Gray took him off that second after that was the tackle. That's the one you're
that's
on
it,
about.
that
I think
one, aye.
Mulligan. I mean, what the hell Fernandez was doing? I like Big Fernandez, by the way. I like his character. He's
He's got
got
a wee
a
bit
bit
of
of that.
confidence there, isn't he?
He's got the Amoruso. He's got the Amoruso about him. But I tell you what, man, fans are. I remember fighting with people on my supporters bus when I was a kid about Amoruso because I just loved him with a Italian stallion with the hair and everything like that. And Fernandez has got that cockiness about him, and it's like, mate, he is going to do that and absolutely just fall on his arse and give away a goal at the wrong time, and we're going to drop points, and the fans are going to take. So, like Walter Smith would have had him pinned up against he would have had him pinned up against the dressing room wall if he did that with Walter, mate. It was unbelievable. 3 people he took on. It's like, mate, just calm down, eh? You're not playing FIFA. You're playing at Ibrox. Okay, you're not getting booed and everyone else is getting booed, but you'll start getting booed if you give the ball away and it goes 1-1.
See, the
But
thing
anyway,
is,
mate.
he done that, right? And you're thinking, my God, but before that, they pass across the back and it goes back to Butland and he takes forever to kick it and then he's getting charged down or he's kicking it with the left foot instead of his right foot. And I don't mind if you take a risk like that every so often. Just don't get caught out. But it was because I think NCR done it when he came on as well, didn't he? He done a wee thing when he tried, but
Yeah.
at least when he had the ball, NCR, Fernandez, to agree, they were trying to pass forward.
Yeah, no, definitely. They're good on the ball. NCR was always good on the ball. I mean, I thought, as I said to you, I thought NCR had such a raw deal. I thought that he was one over the summer that because he was like Fernandez. He was really good when he came into the team to start with, and he had a run of like 7-8 games where we're all like, okay, we've got something here. And then when it went wrong in St Mirren, it was absolutely bullied him at Ibrox.
The
Like they
big boys
kicked
that
him.
mum
They
tore him
bullied
apart,
him,
didn't
mate.
he?
They tore him apart. They bullied him. He gave away 2 goals. He fell on his arse, and then he never recovered his confidence after that. And that's what I was always worried about with Fernandez. I was looking at Fernandez thinking, if he has a moment like that, is he going to be the same as NCR? But for me, Kerr, like we speak about, that was an easy situation to go away with that player in the summer, get him on a good program in the gym to get him, because he's only a young boy, to get him strength to like say, okay, you've had your first taste of Scottish football, go away in the summer, get bigger, get stronger, get fitter, work with one of these fitness guys, and then come back and then be ready to go. But the idiot, when Mr. Loch Lomond, he basically straight away says, "Oh, I don't want this guy," which probably for no reason, just stupid, said I don't want him, and then but he was training on his own. And I'm glad we didn't get rid of him and he stuck around because I think he could be a decent option going forward. But he needs to get, obviously he needs to bulk up and get fitter and get stronger. But I mean, that's easy things to work with. If you've got the raw tools, then that's what we've got coaches for, to coach him and say to him, okay, see if you can get, and you can keep him as like a 5th or a 6th choice because you need that, Kerr. You know now, with the amount of games you play in a season, you can't get away with 4 centre backs anymore like you used to. You need like maybe a hybrid player that can fit in there. And Taverniers know that answer. I don't know about you, mate, but I do not want to see Tav ever at right centre back in a 4, a 5, a 3, a 9, a 7. Ever again do I want to see that guy after his performance in Europe. I've never, it was like a dog. You'd be as well putting a dog in the jersey because he was just chasing a burst ball for the 90 minutes, mate. So it's good to have these options at the back.
No, I thought he done well like him on. I thought the subs, he brought the subs on. The game was he was trying to change it. Barron was blowing out his backside. He'd done that much running, so he took him off and took off Mike Moore as well. Still went off, and I think Duga went off, didn't he? And Aarons and Tav come on, and I thought Tav was poor, Ricky. Again, I thought he was poor. I thought his decision making was poor. I thought his passing was poor. And I don't know what can Tav do to turn this for him because he's not been playing well at all. I don't know if his confidence has dropped, his head dropped, or he's just maybe his legs have eventually just said enough's enough. But what I don't like when he comes on is he suddenly demands everything again. Whereas before
It's
he comes on,
annoying as anything.
Barry was taking, I think, or even I can't remember who else took everything. I think it was Mikey Moore that took one or something. But then Tav comes on, it's like I'm on now, everything's and it's just annoying. They try to put the corner in, and it was really end of the match, and he's putting a corner in, you're like, just keep it, and he's fucking throwing it into the box, and then they're going to get it, and you're thinking, what you do? His decision making this moment in time isn't great, and I don't know if that's maybe one of the reasons he's not starting games, or I don't know what's up with him, because he started the season okay, to be fair.
He did, mate. But wow, that 20-minute sub appearance last night was incredible, man. He came on, gave the ball away again. Then he had a free kick, overhit it to absolutely nothing. And you're right, like when he's not in the team, you can see what the set piece coach is trying to do, because we've got variations in the corner kicks. We're kicking the, like Barron's taking the corners, and every one he takes is different. There was a few short with Moore. There was a few like really good balls. Barron's got a great corner, by the way, right in on the goalkeeper, good balls. And we got obviously the goal for Sterling was a set piece, and then it back out and then in. As soon as he comes on, you're right. It's like we don't have a set piece coach. He just grabs the ball, puts it down, and that one that was like 91.5 minutes. This is what I mean when I say about our leadership group. They've all got sawdust for brains. It was Butland last week. Like we've got 44th minute. We're winning away. Just get to half time. I think it was Derek on the review. It was hilarious. I think he was over for the match and he went for the toilet, and Butland had the ball in his hands, and he came back out, and his dad went, "It's 1-1," and he's like, "Don't be stupid. How can it be 1-1?" And he's like, "It's 1-1." And like Butland kicked it straight to them, and they went up the park and scored. And he's like, "Oh no!" And Tav was the same. Tav did exactly the same. He hit a corner, kicked it all the way out to the other side, and then Hibs went right up the park and then had a corner in the last minute. And if we dropped 2 points there, then our title race would have been absolutely over, because the bubble would have been burst, and it would have been Hearts looking favourites for the title. So his career, listen, Kurt, the people that go on about, even Gary Swain from giving Tav a new deal, and I thought he would be sending him fake contracts, getting him excited just to get him to sign it so he can send it to Rangers and say he signed it. But honestly, mate, we need a clean break at this football club from all the players that have got all the baggage from in the past. We need new leaders. We need young leaders. We need new leaders. We need a complete refresh of this squad, a new leadership group. And if you get that with these, like a fresh group of players, that there's nobody there from the past that's like telling like Jack and Ori stories from the past about, oh, we did this and did this. Like a new freshness is what this club needs 100%. And Tavernier for me just cannot be part of that, mate. And thank him. It's not digging the guy out. Thank you for your services. It's been ups and downs the last 10 years, but I honestly don't think Rowe will be offering him a new contract anyway. I think Rowe is, I love Rowe, by the way. I think he's brilliant, and he was raging with that goal. The goals we gave away, and especially that second goal, how weak he was at stopping the cross, and Fernandes as well. I saw someone said it's like you hit the wrong button in FIFA, and he was back to front, and that's very true with Fernandes. So anyway, mate, that's where I see Tav. Like, I think it's shake hands at the end of the season. Do a testimonial for him. I don't have a problem with that. The people that want to go can go. Say thank you for 10 years of service. I'm fine with that, but it's time to shake hands. And I think it'd be good for him as well, mate. I think his time at Rangers has come to an end. And Nicholas is absolutely caning Raskin from minute one in the comments, going, "Get on to Raskin, slag Raskin, slag Raskin." It's mental how much one man can hate a player that plays for Rangers that much. It's crazy. It's mental, mate. Honestly, it's crazy.
I thought Raskin done all right to come on, I have to say. I thought he done all right. He's not been playing well recently, but I thought he done okay when he come on. He created a chance for himself near the end, but he'd made the wrong decision. But listen, I think when he's fit, he'll play beside Barron. I think that's the 2 players that real fancies. But I just was happy with not the performance last night, but seeing all these young guys, because I think we have to trust the young guys more. I think when you've seen it in the corner, Butland for me has had a good season, but he's also liable to mistakes. When he came out for that corner, I'm thinking, oh no, he's missing this. You seen it before he came, he was missing it. And thankfully Sterling cleared it off the line, but he should have just stayed in his line. But obviously Jack's thinking, I'm going to get this when he's never getting it. He makes that decision. You're thinking, what you doing? Just stay there. But he comes out and he's a bit like Casa Schmeichel. He's like, trying to get things, but he couldn't get it, and Sterling clears it. But then he makes a couple of decent saves in games, and you're thinking, so Butland's fine for me, but I like all the younger guys because they have to learn how to play with the team. They'll have to learn how to play at the club, and they're never going to get that experience. They're never going to learn that until, though you say, all these older guys are away, because you can't keep trusting guys who have hit their peak a few seasons ago and are starting to, and on a downward trend. Whereas the more games like Enciala plays, Fernandez plays, I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to be Rangers centre backs for the next 5-10 years, but the more games they play, then you can actually make a decent argument, are they good enough? But playing 30 minutes here, 20 minutes here, and then saying they're not good enough, I mean, I can never tell. So I'm happy Daniel was giving these guys a chance. Obviously, Ricky, we're going to have to sign players in the summer, not summer, January. I don't know how many it will be. It just depends who he wants and if they're available. But I think he's willing to see if these guys are good enough that he's got and give them a chance. I think you can see that with some. I mean, all the boys are talking. You see all the players talking now. They all seem happy. You never seen that in the summer when they're talking about Martin. But I think Danny Rule understands him and he understands him. And I also don't think Nicky is overcomplicating things.
No, he's not. No, he knows that though. But listen, we done a great pod with the Sheffield Wednesday guys that were on. And everything they promised us for Rowe has been pretty much spot on, mate. And everything they've said is absolutely came true. He's a very good manager for number one. He doesn't overcoach the players for number two. He just gives them enough. He gives them enough coaching that they need, but he doesn't. He gives them the freedom that they need on the park, and that's what a good manager should do. And the most important thing for me, what any manager is, he's adaptable, right? He's flinging things at a wall. Some of the things are sticking. You've got to remember, since he's came in, and I know I don't want to get swagged for this, but it is a fact, and it's nothing to do with we're going to win the league or anything. But since he came in, we're top of the league for the Forum, right? By a couple, it's us, Motherwell, I think, Hearts, and
no, he's won 20 points out of 24.
That's what I'm saying. He's top of the league. He's top of the league. And that counts for nothing. But as Forum is, if he can keep that going, and to have done that with this squad of players, and you've got to remember, Kerr, the amount of injuries he's had as well. And what impressed me, because I was really disappointed after the last international break, when we played Livingston. Was it Livingston? Who did we play at Ibrox? Falkirk would drop points, and there was another team. I think we beat Livingston 2-1, and it was really, 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 really turgid. And then Falkirk would drop points. And at that point, I was really concerned for him, because I was thinking, this group of players, can he get enough out of them just to get to January? Because this could really turn pretty bad pretty soon. And to be fair play to him, he managed to, even though Dundee United, we didn't beat them, he managed to turn it around and create a heap of chances. And then he's continued that on and been able to get the wins and the clean sheets as well with these players, mate. So you can tell he's a good manager. And as I say to you, he's a manager that's worth backing. He's got the contacts, man. The contact book that he must have is absolutely frightening. With the clubs
bigger than yours, Ricky.
Oh, mate, no comparison. You look at the clubs he's managed it and everything like that. The good news is, Scout, he'll not be signing Hanley. You were the happiest. You were the happiest man at Ibrox yesterday. Rangers won 1-0, and Hanley wasn't at fault for the goal and played well. So
I just said the name of. I said that experienced centre back like Hanley. I didn't say Hanley himself.
I'm only pulling your leg, mate. No, but it's good. That's what we need. What about Gogic from St Mirren? Do you think he's an option to come in? What do you think about that? Do you think?
Listen, I'm not going to turn my nose up at Gogic. I think
he'd be a good.
I think he does really well with St Mirren.
I think as a squad option, he'd be a good signing.
Can do the same at Rangers? We don't know. I mean, he's got his limitations as well. He just defends well. So I know he played the middle of the park Sunday, summit.
Jesus.
because he's got a bit of physicality about him, and Celtic lacked that on Sunday, so they shoved him in there. Stevie Robinson did, and I think he's an option. I wouldn't be going too many players because I think a lot of these young players, they can be a hit and miss. I mean, the two boys that,
Yeah.
well, one that was man of the match on Sunday, I mean, he got rejected. He was playing with Bolton a few years ago and wasn't good enough. So
Yeah,
it just
no.
goes, I mean, it's peaks and
Aye.
troughs. But Gogic has been knows our league. He's played with Hibs, he's played with Hamilton, he's played with St Mirren, so he knows the league. So if he's available, I wouldn't say no, because I think
Yeah.
it's help the back line because he's experienced and he can talk to the players through it. And I think sometimes all you need an experienced head there to
Yeah.
talk these young players through games, and they learn more.
100%.
They'll get a positional sense more listening to something like that. But I think if Sterling can stay fit, he could probably do that job to a point because he's experienced as well. I mean, somebody mentioned Callian Phillips. I like him as a player as well, but he wouldn't join us.
Aye. He's as Irish as they come. Maybe
He
as well
doesn't
to
wear
go and
he doesn't
sign
wear a
Roy
pop
Keane.
in his shot, so he's not going to come to Rangers.
Aye. I know.
But to be honest, Ricky, I mean, I think you seen it last week over in the Europa League game when we lost. We won a game, we obviously won and we lost. And he was very angry, and that's the most animated I've seen Daniel being angry. And I think that, I don't know if that surprises the players, but it shows you the standards the boy has, even though
Yeah.
he's not brought in any players of his own. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
And I think the players recognise that. And I think our night against Hibs, we weren't great. But like he said, it's character, it's effort. And I think you can see that now. Before you never. Under when Russell Martin, he didn't see the effort, he didn't see the character. It was like, we lost a goal and heads went down, but we're not losing as many goals. Granted, we're not scoring that many goals. But you can see there's effort there, you can see there's character there. And you can see some of the players for him has improved. Barron is playing fantastically well. I mean, if he keeps this up, he should be in a shout with the Scotland squad for the World Cup. You've got Mike Moore, who is night and day compared to when Russell Martin was here. Just small things. He's moved him, he's given him more trust. He's not put him into a box and say you can do that, but you can't do that. He just said to him, you go out and enjoy yourself, and that's what Mikey Moore's doing. So, listen, I think there's a lot more to come for Daniel, but the board do need to back him. They really need to back him. I don't mean like spend tons of money, but if he wants a couple of guys in, they've got to say, we'll do our damnedest to get these guys in for you. I mean, they might cost nothing, they might cost a few million quid, we don't know, because hopefully he knows guys who he can bring in. They don't have to be mega bucks. I mean, we've spent a lot of money, and some of these players need help. I still think there's a player in Asgard, even though he's a bit of a fairy at times. I still think there's a player there. I just think he needs it brought out of him. I thought when he came on last night, he was comfortable on the ball. I mean, he can go by players very easily, and he's comfortable on the ball. It's the other side of his game he's got to improve. But I think that could come because Mikey Moore's getting that criticism at the start. You don't track back, you're getting pushed off the ball, and then there's a sudden switch. And Mikey Moore did say in his interview, all the criticism he was getting, it's kind of broadened his shoulders and made him tougher, and he can take it, and he's enjoying it now. So I'm thinking if Asgard can see that in other players, then make it more for him. I'm not saying he's going to be a world beater, but if you get a wee bit more for each of these guys, it could make a big difference to this season.
Yeah, well, it depends who we bring in January. You're right. I mean, even Kavanagh spoke about the team needing leaders, and but Rowe's a pretty straight. He's a straight shooting guy. What I've heard is that he basically takes the team into the meeting room after the matches, and he's got all the quips ready. So every mistake that he'll make, he'll say, "Right, you were supposed to do this. Why did you do this?" And he'll just ask the player straight out in front of all, and then the player's got to give him an explanation, which I think is the way that it should be, because you want honesty from the players. The coach is giving you honesty. He's not digging you out. He's just saying, like, can you explain? And then he can give you a pointer and say, well, don't do that again because you cost a goal here. This is what cost us here. So that's the sort of coaching we need. That's definitely what we need. So anyway, we will see, mate. We will see. But it's been good. It's been good so far from Rowe, and I'm sure he's got a great plan for January. And I'm sure the Americans will back him. I think they do have deep pockets. So it's not like they didn't expect to be able to do everything in one window. They've said that already, Kerr. The money that was spent was not as much as what we were led to believe, looking at the books and stuff like that. So I think there is still money there to be spent. And to me, it's not about spending money, Kerr, because Football's getting harder. You know you're a scout. Football's getting harder and harder, mate. You look at Celtic, they're spending 5 million. They spent 5 million on 2 wingers, and they're absolutely dreadful. And look how many players we spent money on. They've spent big money on players. We spent big money on players. When was the last time a player actually came to Scotland above 5 million and was actually worth the price tag? And you could actually go, wow, what a player. And that's going, I mean, I know Diamande was a little bit less, but that's going all the way back to Diamande. All our hits in recent years have been players that were basically picked up for peanuts. So when we spend money, it's always been disappointing, Kerr. So, but I'm sure that the big man role will have a massive plan, what he wants to do in January. I'm sure he's using his contact book. I know that people's a bit worried about Dan Purdy and like Felwell's son and these sort of people. But I think these are just part of a recruitment team that will be working the role. He'll tell them the players that he wants. He'll be giving them ideas. They'll be giving him ideas. And I think it'll be a big collective. But at the end of the day, Kavanagh role will definitely get the final say. But there's big concerns. We all think that Roll's the man and he's going to do this. But we've got PTSD from Michael Beale because it's like we go round in a circle, Kerr. One minute we've got a director of football and he's signing players. Next we've got a manager in Beale and he's given a massive kitty to sign players. So the team has been in a bit of a rut with this over since Gerrard, basically. So let's hope Roll can get a few in January, and because we're in a title race, if we can get to January and still be within sort of, I would say, I don't know, 6 points of Hearts, then you're still in a title race because I think Hearts will drop points. And I can't see any team in Scotland with the way that all the 3 teams are, us, Hearts and Celtic. I don't think you're going to see any team going on at 8-9 winning run. I just don't see it. I don't think there's the quality there in any of the squads, and even after January for them to be able to do that, mate. What do you think? Do you think any team's good enough to win 9, 10, 11 games in a row? I just don't see it, mate.
No straight wins, no, a few draws involved, but listen, I still think it's Hearts title to give away. I still think out of us, them and Celtic, I still think Hearts will probably get overall the most consistent squad to date. I think they played probably the best stuff as well, to be honest with you. Are they catchable? They are catchable, but we have to be consistent and we have to make sure, first of all, we can't get beaten Saturday. You take a draw at worst, but you can't lose a game. Sunday. You can't lose a game. You can't go up there and lose because that's you 3 points further behind them. And by the time you look at it, you can run out of games before you catch them. But I just think we have to take each game as it comes. And I think he's going to set us up to make sure we don't concede first and maybe attack secondly. But I think you've got to trust Roll. I don't think he's going to be stupid like Michael Beale. To be fair to Michael Beale, I mean, he signed Dessers and he turned out okay, didn't he, Ricky? But I don't think he'll be as daft as that. I think he'll be clever, and I think Kavanagh will be involved. I think he'll not so much picking players, but I think he'll be involved in the process. And but you say Rules worked at big clubs, Munich, and I can't remember that club. Is it? I think he worked at Leipzig as well. I'm not sure, but so he knows. He worked at Southampton, so he knows the process and stuff. So even if we can't say any more loan players, can't we? No, we've got enough loan players, haven't we?
No, but I don't know how it works if we send a few back, which might be an option, you know. So maybe that could be.
By all accounts is away, which is decent.
Yeah, that's a gimme for sure.
I think you go back down to England, but and play really well. I think you go back down there, and if it's Sheffield United, whoever, I think he'll do well because I think he has a championship player. He just came up to Scotland and found it more difficult, and either he imagined, or I'm not sure what went wrong, because I thought he was going to come up here and no stroll it, but I thought he could make an impact. I didn't expect him up here, Ricky, and be as bad as he was, because watching him at Leeds and Southampton, even Blackburn, at a point as a player there.
Aye, but he's never been played in his right position, though. Like Russell Martin had it in his head, fairy dust in his head, and all the stuff that goes on in that head of his, that he was a number 6. And like you said, he's never played number 6 in his career. How can you put a guy who doesn't have the pace of the legs to get about the park and just think that he's going to just suddenly be in number 6 and dictate games. And he's never played that position his whole career. It was one of these things that's absolute. Like some of these managers care. Some of these modern managers, like some of the things they come up with, is absolutely baffling. It's like they try and overcomplicate things and make everything way more difficult than it's not to be. And I think that probably Rothwell's had enough of Rangers, and Rangers has had enough of Rothwell with just the situation over the last. I think he keeps saying he's injured. It's amazing. He's another one. I'm injured. God knows what's going on with Matondo. I see Dowell was back on the bench at the weekend as well. So there's a lot of players we need to get out, even that we've forgotten about. I mean, is Davies still a Rangers player? I'm not sure.
No, he signed with Oxford.
No, but is he?
No,
So he's away. He's on a full.
I
He
think
went
so.
away on a permanent. Aye, it wasn't a loan move, no.
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I suppose it'd
Aye,
be
so we need to get rid of your Matondo, your Dowell, all these sort of, because these the guys that are on. Matondo's on a huge wage, man. He's on like something absolutely ridiculous.
I read on the internet and I looked up in one of the Cardiff papers and it said that they were interested in Matondo.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll get much from him, to be fair, but I see if it's just getting him off the
No,
wage.
just get his wage, get him off the wage bill so we can bring in, because I don't expect listen, that's why I think you've got to look in Scotland at
And they say
Gogic, a
there's a
player.
loan for Davis, but even if the loan's up, his contract's finished at the end of the season anyway,
Yeah,
isn't
his
it?
contract's finished, but I mean that's it. So you get that wage you get that wage off. I thought he was on loan, so you've still got players like that are still costing the club money, because I know that Oxford didn't pay his full salary. So honestly, our business since '55, mate, has been absolutely mind-boggling, and we need
Recruitment's
to
been
have.
poor, Ricky, the recruitment's
It's,
poor, but it's got to change at some point.
no, that's it. I mean, it's been that bad that one window you think you would get lucky, and actually just by rolling the dice, you would think that you would get lucky and actually find players that are going to contribute. And
So
I
say
have
you bring in
confidence.
two players,
I
Ricky,
have
right? Say you bring
confidence in
in
them.
three. What three positions? I know Gary's mentioned that. Don't need a team at
Wow.
the moment. What three positions?
It's difficult. It's difficult, right? Because like before Miovski hit a bit of form, you would have said, for me, priority number 1 and 2 would have been a centre back and a striker, right? For sure, would have been a leader at the back, because I don't think we've got a leader that controls everything. I think we could do with the spine is a must for me. So I would say still probably forget about. Just cut out that last 2 minutes of the pod, mate. I would go centre back for sure, leader. I would go a centre midfielder as well, a number 6 who can control the midfield, and a striker for me. And we need wingers, we need a left back, we need a right back, we need all that. But that would be, if you said to me you can have 3 players in January, it would be a leader at the back, a leader in centre midfield, and a leader as a guy that's going to like challenge Miovski properly, so that they two could be going head to head and bring out the best in Miovski. I would be moving Shermiti out on loan if it's possible, Kerr. I just think he might be a Sadiq that in a few years suddenly hits a bit of goal scoring for him, and hopefully he's still our player and we can bring him back, and then he can be a good option as a squad player. But just now, he's just not even an option as a squad player for me, Shermiti. He doesn't score goals, mate. I've got no confidence. I've got less confidence in him when he's through on goal than I did with Big Sebo. That's how less confident I am with Shermiti. So I think that if we can get him out and get, then for sure that would be the positions I'd be looking at.
Like I said to Gary about Shamati, it's not so much the boy's fault. It's not so much he's a overall. Both saying he's a worst signing. I don't even think it's that. I just think you buy these players when you're winning. You buy these players and you've got a strong squad and you can blend them in over time. But buying somebody like that and asking him to be a starting line is very tough, because the boy's not scored a lot of goals. He's not got a lot of experience and he's still young and playing with Rangers as a 9. You don't score goals, you're going to get
See,
criticised very, very quickly. And you have to be big shoulders to take that. And I don't think he has big enough shoulders yet.
for me, if you had Shankland as one of our options, Miovski with the forum that you said recently, and that was 2 of your options, and Shermitty was your third option, and he was able to grow, learn off a good striking coach and these two players, and he was a kid that came in, forget about the price tag and stuff like that, and he was able to grow, but there was no pressure on him because Shanklin was scoring goals, Miovski was scoring goals, and you had two players that were banging in numbers for Rangers, then I think he would, at that point, he might be a no bad option as a squad player. But just now we've got Danilo, who is not good enough to be a Rangers striker. You see that he's for the formations that we play. You've got to play another striker with Danilo to get the best of him, and we're not going to play 4-4-2. You can see that now. And then you look at Shermitty, and like Miovski's been really bad, except for this little purple patch. So because of that, it makes him look a lot worse, and he has been bad. I mean, some of the chances that he's missed, but for me, that sort of magnifies it, because then you've got three strikers who've just not been doing it. And I've always agreed with you that Miovski would come good or could come good if you give him the right service, and you started to see that. He's not injured. I think he's going to be okay for Sunday. You started to see that. So let's hope he can continue that now and go on a scoring streak and the thing is, like we speak about it all the time, Miovski, just stay in the box. Don't get involved in trying to do link-up play and stuff like that. Just keep him in the box, get the ball to him early, and his one-touch finishing is superb. And if he can do that, then we could be on a decent striker with Miovski.
I think you've seen Miovski. He scored 2 against Kilmarnock, and then the goal he scored in Europe. I think you've seen the confidence was back because he took that and scored it very easily. I think if he hadn't scored against Kilmarnock, he might not have done that. He might have tried something else because his confidence was very low. He's a confidence player. And that's for the three players, Ricky. I was saying a left back. I think we struggle left side. I think my home was playing a lot of football for the young guy. And last season, I think he only played about 15, 17 games for Preston. I could be wrong, but I don't think he played a lot. And it's a lot of work for him. So I think we need somebody in there just to help out. A six, I think we need somebody just to sit middle of the park, and also I think we need a centre back, maybe a striker. So probably either a centre back or a striker, depending if Suter comes back and Cornelius comes back. Then we're probably okay defensively for the league, but I think maybe another 9. Yeah, I think. But the staying a striker is very difficult because every team wants a striker that can score goals, and it's very difficult to get. I mean, there's a players in Scotland you could go for. I mean, the Shankland debate's finished for me, but he's never going to come. It's past talking about.
What about the guy from Motherwell that's almost top scorer? He looked quite good when I've seen him, Mike. His hold-up play is quite good.
Yeah, I have is Bowie. I've always liked. I remember him at A3 Rovers, and
they're wanting 6, 7, 8 million.
I know
Rangers
that.
They were not. He's not worth that. He's miles away from that.
But it's another too late to get these guys. I mean, he's saying Tony on loan.
He's only on about 500k a week and a Ferrari a week, man. We're not gonna. What are we going to offer him? A Honda Civic with 2 fish in the back and 10k a week.
Somebody, Nicholas said this is one striker, Linga, but I mean, he's done well this season, but like I said earlier, you don't know if this boy's going to, because you feel before doesn't mean anything. I mean, Nisbet, as I've always liked Kevin Nisbet, I have to say, but I don't know if we would go for him. And I seen that link Johnson there.
Kurt Zuma, the cat killer.
He never killed a cat. He gave it a good slap. Did he not? He never killed it.
He's a cat killer, man. He can't be signing cat killers.
Bigson would be all right if he came up and actually played football and done all right. But
he's what 8 million now, mate. Is it? You've got that? Like you're speaking about English like that.
He's not playing abroad. He's got a contract or something.
I don't know. I thought he was still with West Ham. Maybe
he's playing abroad somewhere.
Is he?
Aye, but listen, there's players everywhere you can look at. I'm just hoping Rule knows players we've never heard of.
Yes, that's what I hope as well. But I would like to see a few that know the league. That's what I mean. A good mix. A good mix would be good for me. So a Gogic, you know he's a leader. You know that he knows the league. It's a good option. Maybe the Motherwell striker. If you can get 6 out, 7 out, and like get a few of these guys in sprinkled, because I think the problem is I think we've got too many. I think we've got good foreign players in our squad, right? But I don't think you've got that player to get that's aggressive that gives them the kick up the ass. Even the training videos, mate. I think our training is too soft. The standards are getting pushed by the manager, but the dressing room should be run by the players, and the training should be run by the players. There should be players telling other players, "Look, what you're doing, you're mucking about here. Let's get this standard higher." And I just don't think we've got that at the club. I think Tav's too nice. Butlin's never a leader. I think Suter, he talks well, but Suter is never a leader in a million of Sundays. So that's where we need to be. I would like to see some players that know the league, and then a sprinkle of magic from Roll. If you could do a nice mixture of that in January, that would be good for me. And you can pick up some of these players in Scotland for a lot cheaper than you're going to pay for players abroad. So it will be interesting. It'll be an interesting window, and I'm sure Roll's got a good plan, mate.
I just hope we can get through the next few games.
Yes.
Before we hit the window with 6 points.
A win on Sunday would be huge, man. If we get a win on Sunday, then the title race.
I know we'll talk about it on Friday, but I've seen a lot of fans already writing us off, saying they're going to win quite comfortably, and I don't mind saying that because they're being overconfident. No, I've seen a few saying they're going to beat us quite easily. Aye, and we're jumping in other teams. We celebrate it when they beat Celtic, and then we celebrate it when someone beats Celtic. How do you not celebrate? Listen, it's not about celebrating. It's banter.
It's because
banter, 100%. Fans and nothing. It's nothing else about celebrating.
100%.
Do you know that way? And people are just. I think I'm going to stop going on social media as much because it's full of.
Oh, it's full of bangers, mate. Absolute bangers. It's just clickbait. I think half of them are just looking for you, just to rage bait you.
Just wants an argument, no matter what you say. Somebody just wants to argue with you. It's like
even the algorithms, mate. There's some of the pish that's on your feed now. Like it used to be. Some of the crap that Elon Musk is putting into my eyeballs every morning, man. I'm like, what is going on here? Why am I seeing this nonsense? It's just crazy. It's totally changed the way that it used to be before, right? But some people just want to be miserable all the time on there, and it's just madness, mate.
I know. So that will be us for the night, Ricky.
Yes.
So much we can speak about. So we're back Friday night. Hopefully, we can get somebody else to join us on Friday night. So it's not just me and you talking nonsense for an hour. So thanks to everybody for joining us tonight. It was. I know we were just talking a bit of nonsense for the last hour, but it was good to see you joining in and talking. And Ricky, I'll see you Friday night. Hopefully,
thank you, Cal.
We'll be back. I don't know if Cameron will be back. If not, we'll continue. If they are, that'd be great. But catch everybody soon and see you later.